hasn't been a new asset class created since the bond market in 1693. Now there's a new asset class, and it's called the digital asset space. Are you participating in this new asset class? Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What's going on, guys? Hope everyone is having an outstanding day, or should I say had an outstanding day. So listen, I wanted to go over this article real quick. It is from March, but I think it's very apropos considering the video that we did early and the live stream that we did earlier, where we showed the video with Julia Chatterley interviewing the former head of the SBA under the President Obama administration, Karen Mills. So this is from the Daily Huddle. Shout out to the Daily Huddle, dated March 13th for 2020, guys. So New York regulator sends letters to Coinbase, Ripple, Square, requesting vehicle preparedness plan. Remember this? I don't think I remember seeing this, but think about it. Coinbase, Ripple, Circle, Robinhood, Gemini, Genesis Global Trading, BitPay, and Square are among 18 registered crypto-related businesses that received a request from the New York State Department of Financial Services to submit their beer code preparedness plans. Isn't that interesting? Ripple among one of these companies. Isn't that interesting? Square. I'm going to cover Square here in a little bit as well. So in July of 2019, the regulator opened a new department focused on licensing and regulating crypto-related businesses in the state of New York, overseeing crypto services such as buying, selling, storing, sending, and receiving digital assets on behalf of New York residents. According to the letter issued on Tuesday, the DFS is asking crypto firms under its jurisdiction to provide assurance relating to operational and financial risk arising from the outbreak. It is critical that each regulated entity establish plans to address how it will manage the effects of the outbreak and assess disruptions and other risks to its services and operations. I just don't remember this article. I really don't remember this news at all. Firms must submit a response within 30 days of the notice outlining how they plan to manage the risk of disruption to their services and operations. Interesting. To their services and operation. So this kind of comes across as though they were just saying, how are you going to, in light of these recent events, how are you going to prepare for it? What are you going to do? But I thought this spoke to each individual Circle's business model, Coinbase's business model, Ripple business model, right? That's what we would all think that they were talking about, but I think it's something different. Each company is expected to submit a detailed strategy describing how it will respond to the impact of the outbreak in stages so that efforts can be appropriately scaled, consistent with the effects of a particular stage of the outbreak. Firms are also asked to map out an assessment of the potential increased risk of cyber attacks and fraud due to an outbreak. DFS would underscore in particular the risk to virtual currency businesses of increased instances of hacking, cybersecurity threats, and similar events as bad actors attempt to take advantage of the beer code outbreak and the possible resulting need for heightening security measures such as enhanced triggers for fraudulent trading or withdrawal behavior. So this was, I don't want to say that it was a smoke screen, or perhaps it was just one part of many things that they asked these 18 firms, fintech firms, about how they would respond to the outbreak of the beer code. Like, for an example, if there was a stimulus package and money was needed to get out to people, how would you prepare to do that? How would you be able to get this money out to people? Are you prepared to do something in a direct deposit manner, if you will? So it's interesting. Given Julia Chatterley's interview, I think this is very, very interesting. So the letter gives us some insight into how state officials plan to manage the ongoing economic disruption in New York, where the coronavirus has affected a cluster of people in New Rochelle, making it the second largest cluster of beer cold cases in the United States after Seattle, Washington. This was in March, okay? So officials in the state are currently rolling out the state's first drive-through testing center. Well, of course, now we're in April. This is 30 days later. We're April 13th. This article was written March 13th. And given this particular interview today from Julia Chatterley, right here, right? And so, interesting thing here. So shout out to XRP psychologist, Dr. Chris. Now, I'm not sure, I don't know if this was the original one or not, but he covered this as well in the tweet. It says, will Ripple be one of the fintechs that distribute the $349 billion to small businesses this week? It could happen through a partnership with a large bank such as Bank of America. This week, we'll find out more about which fintechs are involved. And then we later heard in this interview here that PayPal, Square, and another company, or actually Intuit. So it was PayPal, Square, and Intuit, I believe, QuickBooks, were already asked and had already stepped forward and helped in some way with that whole process with the Paycheck Protection Program. Let me play this for you. Hopefully this guy's plays. If it doesn't, I apologize.
And save the day. You know, the
$50 billion in aid for small businesses struggling to survive the COVID-19 crisis. Small businesses employ around half of the US workforce. They're a critical driver of the economy, but the Paycheck Protection Program has had a pretty rocky rollout so far, with firms scrambling to secure loans that should help them save jobs. What more's required? Joining us now, Karen Mills, a former administrator of the U.S. Small Business Administration, the SBA, under the Obama administration, and is currently a senior fellow at Harvard Business School. She's also the author of the book FinTech, Small Business and the American Dream. Karen, fantastic to have you with us. Overwhelmed is the word I would use, just in terms of the sheer volume of loans that are trying to be created here to support small business. Is and are fintech lenders perhaps a key to getting money out quicker, particularly to some of the smallest businesses in the nation?
Well, I think this is going to be the week that we see fintech come in and maybe even save the day. You know, the next 2 weeks are critical.
Again, guys, I find that to be very, very interesting. And then later, Julia Chatterley, she did another tweet. She actually did another tweet and mentioned the three companies. I'm pretty sure I have them right. Later after the interview, let me see if I can find that. She actually talks about the three. Yeah, the Treasury adds PayPal, QuickBooks, and Square. The Treasury adds them. So they're working and helping the Treasury with this particular Paycheck Protection Program. Essential addition to the Paycheck Protection Program scheme, the challenge remains that these leaders also must get authorization from overwhelmed SBA.gov to issue cash. Too much volume and paperwork. Alternative, direct lender access to the United States Treasury, cash with T&C to get cash to desperate SMEs faster. That was a question from her. So those are something from TechCrunch. PayPal, Intuit, and Square approved to offer loans to small businesses through beer coat relief. So this is saying they were approved to do it. Interesting. So originally I thought they were just kind of participating. Isn't that interesting? PayPal, it says approved to offer loans to small businesses through the Beer Code Relief Program. So they were approved to offer the loans. Okay. 3 fintech companies. It speaks directly to, I think, this particular article back in March 13th. It says it was the regulator sent letters to these particular companies, Coinbase, Ripple, Square, for just to name a few, to see how they would respond in a particular situation in reference to the Beer Code. And so there's 3 thus far that are stepping in. Does that mean another one will perhaps be created, like was suggested previously by XRP psychologists, right? So don't know. Don't know. We shall soon see, but I think it's interesting. And again, that when that article came out in March 13th, I'm not sure if many people were paying attention to it, because I think probably perhaps a lot of people just like myself thought that it was kind of, the question was about how will you continue to do business? How are you going to stay afloat? Or, what is your options if there's something, it seemed like to me that letter they were asking them and how are you going to be prepared in relation to the Beer Code was about their own business. But it's looking as though, in addition to that, it's like, would you be able to step in? So I find that to be very, very interesting that TechCrunch is actually to do the loans. So is Ripple going to be involved in that? That's what I asked on the stream earlier today. Is Ripple somehow going to be involved with what they're looking to do? So they picked 3 companies right now. They said to work on getting cash out. Through the Paycheck Protection Program. Very interesting. I find that to be very, very, very interesting. I think I misunderstood it. I thought they were helping some like with paperwork and things like that. But according to this TechCrunch, let me find the TechCrunch article. This is from TechCrunch. Let's see here. I don't know if I'll be able to read it all. PayPal, Intuit, and Square to offer loans to small businesses through the Beer Code Relief Program. Fintech companies have been lobbying for weeks to be able to participate in the United States government's emergency lending program for small businesses. Now those efforts have paid off, as PayPal, Intuit, and Square have all been approved to participate, to participate in the U.S. Small Business Administration Paycheck Protection Program, which provides aid in the form of forgivable loans for small businesses that keep all employees on their payroll for at least 8 weeks. The $350 billion small business loan program is part of Congress's $2 trillion Beer Code stimulus package and is aimed at those businesses with fewer than 500 employees. PayPal announced on Friday it had been approved as one of the first non-bank institutions able to help distribute loans. Help distribute loans under the SBA program after having received the approval to participate in the program. The company has already operated as a small business lender before today. It noted since 2013, PayPal has provided loans and cash advances to business owners. These efforts to date have provided, cool. All right, what else we got going on? We are eager to deploy our capital and expertise to do our part. Now, in that interview, Karen Mills had mentioned that these fintech firms didn't have a lot, and I'm quoting, fintechs don't have a lot of money on their balance sheets. So are they getting the money directly to these institutions, these fintechs like PayPal and Square? I don't know. We are eager to deploy our capital and expertise to do our part in helping small businesses survive this challenging period, said PayPal President and CEO Dan Schuman in the statement. The first loans have been applied for and issued. We expect more loans to be issued in the coming days. Thanks to congressional leaders and the administration for ensuring the CARES Act allowed companies like PayPal to help distribute funds quickly to those businesses that are most impacted. All right, then you're talking about Intuit. Meanwhile, Intuit on Monday detailed several of its new programs launched. So there it is. So That's a very, very fair question, and I'm glad I covered it this morning on the live stream. How, could Ripple be involved in such a way? We all know that they can get cash out very, very quickly. Is Ripple going to be part of this? Are they done? Did they just pick the three and that's it? Is Ripple involved in some way? Now, PayPal, we all know, partnered with acquired a company called Zoom. Zoom, XOOM. Zoom, and Zoom is a Ripple partner, and Zoom was working with RIA, another Ripple partner. So don't know. We shall see. Hopefully more information will come up about this in the future, guys. But again, I wanted to remind everyone about this particular thing that did happen in March, and it's looking as though the Treasury is looking to fintech to help with getting this cash out. And it's probably just one step or a first step in relying on fintechs like Ripple to provide in emergency situations that would lead to other things. Like I talked about on the stream earlier, could this be the first step, perhaps, maybe, where they begin to mention Ripple and this software that they provide and getting the money to people quickly, safely, and all other things that Ripple does. So interesting. We shall soon see. Hopefully there's some news. We've said it on this channel before 1,000 times now. During this beer code situation, the people from Ripple have been very, very quiet. Very, very quiet. So we'll see how it goes, guys. Listen, I am going to wrap up this video like I do all my videos and remind you of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.